there. So today our I can statement is I can solve word problems with addition and subtraction. Today we're going to focus on place value or expanded form model. So first, before we do that, we've got to read our problem and write an equation using that variable for our unknown. A total of 714 players scored a home run. Baseball, all right? So there's lots of players there scoring those home runs, all right? 536 of them are from the USA, okay? So there's a bunch of players, and then part of the players, some of them are from the USA, okay? Our question is how many are not from the USA? So I'm looking for this missing part that's part of my total. So let me write my equation first. I have a total of 714, and that equals 536, these are my USA players, plus some different players not from the USA. Okay? And this was my total players, which is why I started with that, because that's what came first. Could write it differently, though. We could think about that fact family of subtraction. So let's do it as a subtraction problem. We're going to take our total, and we're going to subtract those players that are from the USA, and then we're going to be left with the players that were not from the USA. So like I said, we're practicing our place value strategy, so let's look and see what that looks like. So we're going to write our 714 because that's our total, that's the total amount we have, and we're going to subtract 536 because that's those US players, and that'll give us our P, our players not from the US. So expanding it out, say it slow, 714 is the same as 10 and 4 ones. I like to keep my place value chart in my mind, and sometimes I like to draw those lines just so I make sure I line up all my places. Equals 536. We have to remember, we are doing a subtraction problem. Sometimes we think, well, why, Ms. Babalola, are you adding these numbers together? Because remember, this equal sign says that this 714 equals 700 plus 10 plus 14. So that's why we have to have those pluses in there. But we always have to keep in mind what operation are we doing in the problem. So we're subtracting. Uh-oh, big problem. How are we going to take 6 players away from 4 players? Well, if I have 4 players, I can't take 6 players. Well, you know what? I remember when we did our base 10 blocks and we went to the next place value and we regrouped. We're going to do that same thing here. I'm going to do it in a different color. We're going to take 10. That leaves us with nothing. And then we're going to put that 10 in our ones place. So instead of having 4, we have 10 plus 4 or 14 ones. Okay? I can do this subtraction now. Okay? 14 minus 6. That's 8. Put my answer here at 8. Now I'm going to come next door. Wow, this is a challenging problem. Now I have no players and I have to take 30 players away. Well, you know what? Just like we regrouped with that 10s place, we're going to regroup again with our 1s place. So this time we're going to come to our 100s place. We're going to take 100 away from this. So I had 700. 1 less 100 would be 600. And now I'm going to take that 100 that I've regrouped, and I'm going to put it right here. So now I have 100. Okay, now I think I can do that. 100 minus 30, well, I can think about that as 10 10s and 3 10s. That's going to be 70. And then 600 minus 500, that's going to be 100. Oh, and let's put this back together now. 178. So P equals 178. Let's go back to our problem. How many players were not from the USA? I can see now 178 players were not from the USA. And we're done. So even though that place value strategy looks different than that base 10 strategy, we're still using that same idea of regrouping when we don't have enough, or if it's adding, if our sums are more, then we're going to regroup as well. Look out, next time I will do a video for adding using that place value model. Thanks so much.